Do you guys ever feel like with apps or websites or the mobile versions of the apps that there's just so many features and so many things that you guys don't know about or find out after the fact, and you're like, dang it, I wish I would have knew about that sooner so I could utilize that feature or benefit from that feature. Etsy is no different. There are some features that a lot of people don't know about yet or find out later on that could benefit their shop or their business. And that's what I want to talk about today. 3 sneaky Etsy features that you probably should know about. Let's dive in and discuss. All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast, where we talk about everything handmade, everything Etsy, business, small business, all that good stuff to help you guys move your business forward, stay motivated, stay in tune with what is going on. So I appreciate you guys listening as usual. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're working out, running, whatever you guys are doing. I appreciate you spending this time with me. So today I got another really good episode for you guys. And what I want to talk about today is 3 kind of secret Etsy features that you should know about. Maybe you do know about these features, and if you do, you get 5 stars and you get a pat on the back from me because good job. You are in tune with some of the features that people don't normally know about. And like I started off saying, there are a lot of features within Etsy, within most apps that people don't know about, and things that you got to learn along the way. And a lot of that is because there are so many changes. Apps and websites are constantly changing, constantly evolving to make it a better experience for buyers, for shoppers, a better user experience, all that good stuff. So that is a constant evolution of changes, and that's just something that you have to deal with. If you don't like change, you probably don't want to run an online business because the changes never ever stop. And some of the changes are exciting, and some of the changes are scary, and that's just the way that it is. You got to roll with the punches and deal with the constant change. So let's dive in, and if you guys are watching this on YouTube or on the Handmade and Beyond website, I'm going to show you real quick what I'm talking about. But if you're listening on the podcast, that's fine too. I'm going to explain what I'm talking about, and maybe you guys can check it out later. But I'm going to describe how to get to these places for at least 2 of these things today for you guys. So the first one I want to talk about is alt text, right? This is, if you haven't heard about it, this is a way to label your photos rather with keywords so they show up in search results mostly for the blind and that community, so the web browser can pick up what they're looking for via the photos of your listing photos. So it's actually a pretty cool way to be able to showcase your products to people that can't see and the blind community, and you can label your photos with keywords. So I want to talk about how to do that and exactly how to do that today. So the first thing that you have to do is go into your listings. So if you go into your listings tab, pick out any listing, and then you go to the photo that you want to label with alt text. Usually this is going to be your primary photo. You can do it to all of them, but your primary one is the one that you should do it to. And once you get to that photo, you want to hover over it and you'll see a little pencil there. You want to go ahead and click the pencil, if I could talk, and this will bring up a separate screen allowing you to add the alt text in that relates to this image. Now this will help you in search engines outside of Etsy and in Etsy, and like I said before, it will also help you with people that have the blind community and the way that they search for listings and products, and be able to showcase those photos to them by the descriptive terminology that you guys are using. So this can only benefit you on multiple fronts. It's adding additional keywords to your listings, which will help you in search. So the more, as I always talk about, the more keywords you have, the better opportunities for you to be found, the more lines in the water. So this is a little bit different. You don't want to just put a laundry list of keywords in here for alt text that may or may not necessarily directly relate to your product. Like, you don't want to put a broad keywords that you normally would try maybe in your tags in here. You want to be very, very specific just because how this is used. So you want to describe your product very descriptively, very specifically, so that, for instance, if someone is blind, they're looking for this particular product, they can envision it. They know what it is. They don't just know that it is a fitness shirt. They don't just know that it is a wood shelf. They don't just know that it is an abstract piece of art. Go deeper than that. Use multiple words. You can use full sentences in here to make sure that you're describing your product. So maybe you do an abstract flower art with daisies, with 4 daisies in the front that are white in color, and there is clouds, 2 clouds in the background, something like that. So you're still using specific keywords, but you're getting very, very descriptive in exactly what you are selling, and the scenery, how it's put together, what specifically it looks like. All those details should be in the alt text paragraph. I don't know if there is a character limit in here. Oh yeah, there is. 250 character limit. So you do have to be selective with how you're describing your items, and a lot of times you can really nail that down with just a few sentences if you are being that specific in describing your product. All right, so that is alt text. That's what you guys should be chipping away at. I know it's a lot if you have a lot of listings to go back and do that, especially if you want to do it for every single photo. But it's one of those things, set a goal, do a couple a day so that you can add those additional keywords in your listing to benefit yourself, but also benefit the blind community in how they search for products, and you want them to be able to find your stuff too. All right, so the next kind of secret feature I want to talk about is the Search Analytics tab. You can go there if you go to your Marketing tab in your dashboard, in your seller dashboard, and then you'll see it Search Analytics. So this is a pretty cool tool, which it does all the analytics for the keywords, all your keywords that are in all of your listings. So you can view individual analytics for individual listings, which is a really cool feature as well. But this kind of puts everything together in one bucket, so you can kind of see overall how specific keywords are doing, specific keyword stats, and you can also change the time frame. So once you go into this tab, you'll see at the very top the time frame, and it will compare it year to year, but you can select that time frame whatever you want to look at as far as your keywords. I would select a bigger time frame just to give you a bigger sample size over time, which will help you kind of really see what's going on. If you look at a small time frame, it's a little bit harder to see what's going on because there's always ebbs and flows with SEO and with performance. So set a time frame that you want to look at, and then it'll give you your overall stats as far as for all these keywords, how much revenue is coming in for your traffic, how many visits resulted in a sale, aka conversion rate at the top. So it's kind of a top overview stats. It'll break that down. But really what I want to look at here is if you scroll down, you will see all of your keywords, or at least your top keywords. I think it will have eventually all of them in here if you kind of go through all these pages. Yeah, it has every single keyword in here, but you don't necessarily want to look at all of them. You want to look at maybe your top performers and kind of see how many, what's the conversion rate, what kind of revenue that's bringing in. And then also it shows you how many listings have this keyword in them. So that is really valuable. If you have a strong performing keyword and you sell in a specific niche, and maybe you have 100 listings that should have that keyword, but maybe only 5 of them do or 10 of them do, that should tell you that you want to make sure to apply that keyword to more than those 5 listings because it's very strong performing. You don't want to have the exact same keywords for all of your listings, even if you're selling the same product, because you want to vary that. but you want to make sure that you have your strongest performing keywords in those listings, because it is a strong performing keyword, right? If it's doing well, the more listings that have it, the better chance of making additional sales. So this is a really valuable resource to kind of see overall what your keywords are doing, how many listings they apply to, what's their conversion rate, and then you can also filter the columns as well to kind of sort this data out a little bit. And show, maybe you don't want to show impressions, you don't want to show the position rank of what page it's ranking on. Maybe you want to show average order value, orders. So there's different stats in here that you can either choose to look at or not look at to help you guys see how certain keywords are performing. And this is good because it's not just, it's good data. You don't want to get lost in the data, but it's actionable data. It's stuff that you can take and apply to your shop to improve your shop. And that's what I love. So that is what I suggest. A lot of people get lost in different stats and different performance metrics, key performance indicators, different things like that, and they don't take any action on them. They're not actionable. So make sure you're looking at different stats and different things within your shop, and make sure it is actionable stuff that you're going to have a takeaway and then apply it to your shop, and that's how you make improvements and that's how you move forward. Whereas I see a lot of people get caught up in different stats and low performance stats and things that aren't going well, but then they don't have any takeaways from that to apply to their shop to make those improvements. But that's it, guys. That is a really cool tool that a lot of people don't use or know about, Search Analytics. It'll tell you a lot about what's going on with your keywords in your Etsy shop, so you guys can get basically a bird's eye view, and again, to have some takeaways and apply possible changes to additional listings in your shop. All right, the last secret, sneaky Etsy feature, and this one is actually pretty secret, pretty sneaky right now, is the Explore feature. And this is something I can't show you because admittedly I don't have access to it yet. They're rolling it out very slowly to select sellers, and I think they're picking I'm not sure how they're picking their sellers, but just like any new feature, they usually roll it out to a select group of sellers to try it out, test it, get feedback, and then they eventually roll it out to everyone. So envision, if you are on TikTok, this is kind of how I envision the Explore feature. It's like a TikTok for Etsy. Basically how it works is you go into the Etsy seller preview app, which is an additional app other than the Sell on Etsy app. It's where they test out new features. So if you don't have that app, go ahead and download it because it's pretty cool. It's kind of a different way of presenting the information that the Sell on Etsy app has. So you go in that app, and again, it's only if they have given the Explore function to you. Just because you download the app doesn't mean that you have the Explore function. So once you're in there, you basically will take a video from the app of your product or of whatever you're doing in your shop, and then you can share out that video to an audience, to people to buyers within the app. It will push that information out. I'm not exactly sure how it gets seen specifically. I'm not sure if there's going to be a feed view, but either way, it gets pushed out to an audience, kind of like TikTok. So I guess if you have the app, if you're a buyer or a seller, there's a way to be able to scroll through these different videos to see these different products, and then the products you can tag to come back to your shop. So if someone sees something they like, they basically will follow the click on it, and it'll go back to the listing or your listing, and for them to be able to buy. So very similar to like a TikTok where you're scrolling through stuff. You may see things in there. There's sponsored TikToks where you can click on it and be able to buy the items. So I think Etsy's trying to do some of the same type of things with this update with the Explore function. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it's going to be used, B, the functionality of it, and just how it's going to be able to expand your business. Video is super important. I know a while ago they rolled out the ability for you to add videos to your listings, which is a really good feature for people to see, to better see what you're selling. And that's not going away. This is just kind of a further enhancement of the obsession and the importance of video when selling online or really anywhere, for people to be able to really see what they're buying, really see the detail, really see the showcase of how people are using the product, what it's being used for. So I think it could be a really cool feature. It's going to be interesting to see how it's used, like I said. But so make sure, you can definitely check and make sure that you don't have it, and make sure maybe you do have it. You should have gotten a message if they gave it to you. You probably have gotten a message through the conversation tab. So check that. But if you haven't received that message, you probably don't have it yet. They're supposed to be rolling it out in December at some point for everybody. So stay tuned, and we'll kind of see how it works out, and definitely talk about this further on how it's being used, and be able to help you further grow your Etsy business. So that's it, guys. Those are the 3 kind of secret Etsy features that you guys should know about. The last one you may or may not know about, so you really get bonus points if you've heard of that. Probably if you've been given access to it, you've heard about it. So I'd be interested to see how you guys are actually, what you think of the Explore app, and how you're using it. So if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely leave a comment on that. I'm interested to see how that is being used, and I'll be watching that closely. If you guys are listening to this via the podcast, please make sure to leave a 5-star review. I really appreciate it. It helps me reach more people. Helps me know that I'm doing a good job, because I really want to make sure that I am bringing my A game for you guys and give you the best information possible, keeping you motivated, keeping you on track to start, build, and grow your handmade business. That's all for today, guys. I'll be back really, really soon with another good episode for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day.